Hi all, hope you're doing great. This is Maro. So today I have a Kitakaze replay. I'm grinding through the Japanese DD line yet again. This is the one that requires the least XP. So I've reset the line. I'm trying to get some research points to get me another ship. And I think Vampire is the one that I'm looking to get. So I'm regrinding this line, made it to Kitakaze, and wanted to share this replay. I thought it was somewhat entertaining. So, what I didn't really realize, I think, until recently, and I played this ship probably, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and then again, but, never spent time to really take a look at how it compares to other destroyers. I mean, I know that the DPM is really high, but in terms of how it compares to Akizuki, and what it struck me is it's pretty much the same ship. You just get higher DPM because of the sixth slot. Other than that, slightly more maneuverable, slightly slower torp reload, and I think you have slightly longer torps as well. But other than that, it's not really a big difference in between the two ships, and that somehow didn't really down on me until quite recently. So here, coming up on the cap, trying to stay off the cap. I see I'm located. I know one of the ships is probably coming in close. I guess if it's Akizuki, we should be just about the same in terms of concealment. If it's Nostroshimi, then I think he's got better concealment. Um, it's trying to stay wide, and here I get spotted. And there it is. So Nostroshimi is on this flank. Um, take a shot and try to stay out of the line of fire here. It seems pretty busy on this cap. You have Nagato, you have Sinop, you have Nostroshimi. I think I saw Shores. And we have Kutuzov, Kansas, and me here. So take a kind of just a line around, maybe make another pass, see if any of these battleships start to push in, because Kitakaze, because of the high DPM, is ideal for making any ship that pushes into you pay, unless they have a radar, starting fire. And because of the unique guns, where the 100 millimeter guns actually have 30 millimeter of pen, you can add the captain skill to increase your pen, and then you can really do a lot of damage to the even battleships when you get their bow or stern. Now, I'm not playing my ship that way, but it's definitely a possibility. Nevertheless, you have your smoke here, and it's one of the best opportunities to try and farm when this happens. Unfortunately for me here, the battleships and the opposing team really kind of chooses to stay quite far. I mean, at the edge of my range, and with Nostroshimi around here, I am still kind of just spotting for my Kutuzov here, send the torps, and typically what I do is, I think by the time the torps are done, your Tor preload booster, if I could pronounce that, comes online. So I send both spreads, and here I hit Sinop with one Torp. Um, Wait a minute. Yep, and the second Torp as well, and Sinop is no more. So now it's looking a little better. Shores is there. Now this is not really ideal position for Shores either, right? Shores would prefer if we were to push in, because the Russian cruisers are perfect into like HE spam. I'm not going to engage him here. I'm just going to try to spot him here on the edge. I think I have some of my teammates and they may be able to take him out. And also I'm going to see if I can just perhaps cap this finally. Don't know where that Nostroshimi is, so I want to be careful not to be torped. And There is Nagato, but Nagato's really going away, so it's only a matter of where is that shores. Somebody's in the cap, and it's shores. So I didn't do really great job here because I got spotted by shores. But given where I am, the angle, it's okay for me to do some damage, and the shores is not really in an ideal place, given that my teammates are just to the south, and he gets hit big, and now it's just a matter of finishing him off. Now I did use my smoke. You could argue I didn't really need to, but it's gone now. So I decided to just turn around, and still didn't have a chance to cap this cap. So perhaps come around, but then Nostroshimi is there. So I'm like, okay, well, this is good. He kind of tricks me here by going back and then going forward. So I missed him there. But I'm like, okay, well, this is a good opportunity here. As long as I don't get torped, which has happened to me in the past when I start to get too close to destroyers and then they fire the torps. So here I'm kind of trying to at least maybe have some distance in case something happens. And here he sent the torps. So I send both of my sets to the smoke just in case he's there, and then start the chase because there's really no one there. My team is on the south, and it's time to push. I think in terms of teams, we appear to be kind of just about equal. Actually, we're one ship more down than they are, but I see that De Grosse is not doing really well there, so I think it's just a matter of time before we'll be equal on ships. So Nostroshimi, I know that the DPM is not that high, but I do know that that ship can survive for quite a long time. So if I spot him now and me and my teammates can take care of him, then that would be a big help. So find him, and then I start shooting. And here my shooting really wasn't the best. I mean, okay, he's going left and right, and I am a little concerned that because of his concealment, if I try to get all of my guns to bear on him, he may be able to get away. So I decide to just kind of use my front guns in this case. But as you can see, he's totally throwing my aim here. I mean, just look at this. This is so bad. It's pretty embarrassing, honestly. I was like, okay. I guess luckily for me, there are no other ships that can shoot on me. And also, he's not shooting on me. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to continue. But by this point, I'm really losing patience with myself. I mean, it's like, my God, look at that. It's an exercise in futility trying to hit this ship. I'm so bad. I'm like, okay, well, here he's going to turn around, so he's definitely going to be mine. But I think he's using his heel here, so it's making it even harder for me to get him down. So he's now finally shooting at me and starting to do damage. And I'm still struggling to hit him. There are torps. I guess it's good that I saw them there. I almost ran into them to turn around and again just use my front guns. And finally, oh, well, I say finally, but I don't know. It's like one shell at a time. It just won't go down. It's like, come on. I mean, I know I'm bad. Anyway, finally, I get lucky. I see that Algier is there, is shooting at me, and I decide to smoke up. Again, in retrospect, really, there was no reason to do that. But I got hit, and I just wanted to reset here and assess the situation before I continue. So, two smokes used up, and neither one of them really kind of used up for just regular farming. In terms of teams, it's what, 5 versus 6, so we lost 5 ships, they lost 6 ships. My team is kind of pushing to be through the middle, and I decided to stay up here so that I can spot for them and just kind of push further in. And there's the Algerie, or Algier, and not a good position for Algier with all my ships there, and it's really within my reach. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to stay close to Algier, and hopefully my team will take care of them. Take care of her. So, sailing, getting closer. Mm, you know, perhaps could have been more aggressive, but again, with Kitakaze, and given that you have no heals, I find myself trying to be a little more cautious, especially with cruisers. And then the secondary battleships, I know it's outside the secondary range, but I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to risk it. So just again, stay close and wait for my team to um, take care of her, hopefully. So just spotting, sailing, um, enjoying the scenery. I think the game is starting to turn kind of more decisively in our favor. I think we're two ships on now. I think by this point Algeria is done. I could have, joined. And I think if I was in a Russian destroyer with a kill, I probably would have. But in Kitakaze, I decided to just take my sweet time and not rush. And then I see Ziten or Zeiten. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. But it's like, okay, well, I don't want to fire there because the secondaries can be pretty bad. But it seems that I thought the ship was moving earlier, but it appears to me now it's just sitting there. So it's either a matter of AFK or disconnect. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, perhaps let me just try to get a little closer and send my torps and see if I get any luckier. Now, given how the ship is sitting, I'd like to see if I can get maybe, I don't know, slightly better angle, or so that I can send torps that hopefully take her out if she doesn't start moving. So, going right, going left. I think I just saw those ships there a day and I wanted to keep my distance. But I'm like, okay, well, this seems to be free damage here. So use the reload booster again and send two sets of torps, and hopefully that's enough to take her out. And at the same time, what do we have here? We have Corsage, we have Aegir, and the Akizuki. Now, for us, it's looking pretty good. We have two caps, we have a point advantage, and with one of their ships, it appears being AFK, I think we're looking good. So here I'm again just sitting here and spotting, really, not doing much at all. My torps make it to Zeiten, and Zeiten no more. So I'm like, well, this was probably the easiest, whatever that was, 50,000 or 60,000 points of damage. Now, Kersage, just outside, I see Jaeger, but again, I decide to kind of not engage unless I have to. I know there are secondaries on Jaeger too, I think. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just stay wide for now and spot for my team and start to get slowly closer. Kersage is out, so now it's only Jaeger and Akizuki that are left, basically. So it's just a matter of mopping up. I mean, some of our destroyers, Asashio, it's not full health or Kutuzov, but just for these two ships should be enough. So Jaeger's moving slowly, but not sure by this point what is there to do. It's almost just a matter of mopping up. So I find Kitakaze, you know, good to play. I like the DPM. I like to entangle with other. I like to tangle with other destroyers. The problem with that is without the heal, you feel it. So maybe it'd be better for me if I didn't tangle as much. In terms of maneuverability, it's better than Akizuki, but I still find issues with avoiding torps. And, had too many situations perhaps where I end up eating a torp, especially if it's Shima or kind of a, you know, purposely built torp ship and just sends two or three sets towards me. And, so here is Akizuki. I'm kind of try to keep all my guns, minimize my exposure at the 30 angle. He's making it a little easier here for me because he's not really um, evading as much as Tsushimi did. And here he has the smoke, just trying to fire some in the smoke. He's on fire, damage is ticking, and he really has nowhere to go. So it's just another opportunity for damage. So I'm like, okay, let's charge that smoke. I know he has the same similar torpedoes to me, so unless he has the reload, doesn't necessarily have as many. But with the damage ticking, he is done. So I didn't even realize it, but it just turned out that with the quick two kills at the end, it made it Kraken. So you know, always a good game. Anyway, so hopefully it shows some of the capabilities that Kitakaze has and playstyle and quick and somewhat entertaining battle. That's it for me. I wish you the best on the high seas. Maro, out.